Hey guys, Sheldon from TCI. Leos and I are out in Waxahachie today with a little bit of brush up on some skill sets out on the range, working footwork, body placement, posture, driving the weapon, all the basic fundamentals, everything you do slow that makes you fast. One of the things we noticed when we got out here today is a lot of guys are hitting steel. They're not missing, they're not doing terrible, but you can look right and be dead ass wrong. So Leos is going to show you what we've noticed a lot of the people doing and a lot of what we've seen with people that we work with and we train with, and through our experiences over the years, when people take up a body position and stance for a contact type scenario. What typically happens is you have guys come up on line, body position doesn't look bad, weapon presentation's good, he's stable, he's locked in, he's got good peripheral vision, everything good to go, right? No. Here's why. With your feet level, Leos drives that gun. He's on target. He's good. Okay? He's a strong dude. He can manage the recoil of a 5.56. Hell, he can manage the recoil of anything you put in his hands. What happens when he takes a hit? Remember, we're not training for the range. We're training for a gunfight. Takes a hit to that plate, which is the presentation of your target. That's what you want to provide, is the largest surface area to be shot back at with, because it offers you the highest level of protection. If he takes a round, one finger is now having to compensate for the impact of that round. Promise you, everything hits harder than just my dead gum finger. Proper foot placement, because remember, we're training for a gunfight, we're not training for the range, is to take the non-dominant foot, step slightly forward. His heel should be on what we've illustrated as his center line. The toe of the dominant foot should be on that same line. So Leo's feet are not split. They're not wide, front to back. They're in line. Here's what it does for his recoil management. If Leos has the proper position, he is literally loading the suspension. Think of a vehicle. A vehicle with a good suspension can take the bomb and keep on rolling. Same, screw it, hand. Look at how much more difficult it is to move him off target. I can pull him, but he's transferring this to his legs. You can physically see his legs moving. His body position is still on. It may be slightly off target, but that's a quick readjustment to drive in and hit what's shooting at you. Here's what else it does for movement. From this position, Leos is going to walk forward. Leos immediately transferred his weight from the dominant foot to the non-dominant foot in forward motion. He can now lean forward into his own shot. He can absorb that recoil. He can watch his sights move front and back, maybe slightly up, drop back down, re-engage. Again, we're presenting the target to the known threat. Now if Leos takes a round, he can absorb this in his legs. You can see his legs moving and shaking as he absorbs it. There's no more hip. So here's the other part it plays in. You're not standing still in a gunfight. You stand still in a gunfight, that's exactly where they'll find you when it's over. If Leos's feet are less than correct, how most people do it, watch him when he walks forward. Move. Leos has to transfer the weight off of the foot he plans to take a step with onto the foot he's leaving behind. That also transfers the weapon off plane. If Leo's feet are correct, his legs are loaded for movement right away. So if he has his toe forward, move. Now he transfers the weight in the direction of movement. The gun stays center line, it stays on target. Head right, steel. So just a couple of quick tips on something you can fix that's extremely fundamental, but doing the right thing slow makes you do the right thing fast and more confident. Practice this in your house. Practice it next time you're on the range. Remember, you're not practicing for the range. You're practicing from a gunfight. With that, make sure you're learning and taking advice from people that have combat credibility. Range masters don't mean shit if it wasn't on a two-way range. Speak to your law enforcement officers that have actually been in hostile situations. Talk to your private security personnel that have spent time downrange in hostile situations. Talk to a combat vet. Talk to somebody that can tell you what doesn't work based off their experiences, not something that they watch on somebody else's YouTube video.
Guys, same like with dogs. You might look sexy on a YouTube or social media. That shit's not gonna work in the reality. Make sure that you train for what works in the reality. Take care, guys.